Hi guys, it's all killer, no filler, total frustration. Man, it's been a while, but the Iridiots are with me. We've got Dom Macaulay. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. Good seeing y'all.
And we've got Jam, expressionless Rawlingson. It's funny because he keeps freezing up, guys. So if Jam looks like all of a sudden he's like that, it's because he's there's some connection problems, but we can still hear him, which is the main thing. We love his dulcet tones, don't we, Dom?
Absolutely. Yes, of course. Yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, not to say he isn't, just devastatingly handsome, but it's more we have to hear what his suggestions are.
But this is quite fun actually, because he was pulling a really good one there. Did you see that face he had there?
I just try and smile all the time, just in case.
This was your one then, Jam, just to let you know. All right.
All right. Cheers.
It's fun for us anyway. So anyway, we really are getting there now, and we've been taking. I think we're scared to go to the end because it's quite a while since we did 2016. We're on actually 2017. Dom, it is 2017 this time. Just to let you know. All right.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's 2017. Oh, fuck.
I've only had this list ready for about 3 months, so
So yeah, we're on 2017. So the rules of the game, Jam's excellent rules are: the year is 2017. All the music has to come from 2017. We can't repeat an album on this list, so we can't do 2 songs from one album. And the track listing has to match the original track listing. I was thinking, just to make, when we stopped was doing the old ones, the 80s and all that, and when it was albums only and cassettes. Do you think it's too late now? But we should have done side A and side B, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Instead of, for instance, track 7, which would have been side B, track 2, whatever. We could have done that, couldn't we? That would have been fun. We just have to do it again.
Oh yeah, let's do it again. certainly some of those years absolutely spoilt for choice and left off some real heartbreakers. I remember honorable mentions went on almost as long as.
yeah, they did. You stopped doing honorable mentions because you're like, oh man, this is too much. But I don't know. My list is pretty good, but we're on 2017, and Dom, because it's an odd year, he's going to go first with his track 1.
Okay.
By the way, I was saying, Jam, just before we start, I think you've got an Owl Stall t-shirt on. But I love,
probably from the concert that he just went to.
I'm not sure if Jam likes it because his face is, oh yeah, he is blinking. Dom's t-shirt is the bollocks, isn't it? High and Dry.
Yeah, it's very good. Great album.
Yeah, I love that t-shirt. I mean, people slag that record cover off, but I mean, I think it's almost become a bad record cover because it's such a fucking great album. It's it's brilliant now,
Yeah, it's the Hypnosis guys who did all the classic, Animal Magnetism and Love Drive. Although same guys did, all of those. So they always came up with some really weird but iconic album covers.
Definitely. Okay.
But they did.
Yeah, definitely. So right, Dom, stop talking shit. Let's stop talking shit.
Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, track 1. Germany's Axis, that is with 2 X's. I think I had a song of theirs quite a few years ago. I mean, in our countdowns, or a few years ago. This is their 15th album, believe it or not.
Wow. Yeah.
These guys have been going since 1988. I think I mentioned before, maybe I didn't, but their first album was the best-selling debut hard rock German album of all time.
Mm.
So yeah, they definitely had a reputation. This is, as I said, 15th album, Retrolution, it's called. The song I picked is Burn, 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 which is a great opener. I'm not going to say he sounds like like Klaus from Scorpions, but he has a really distinctive voice like that. Like you know, if you hear Klaus, you know, he doesn't sound like anybody else. This guy's similar as well. He has a lot of vibrato in his voice. Very, very distinctive. They're sort of like Saxon, where they started out just very kind of melodic hard rock, and then in the 90s and a little bit forward, they adopted more of a, how shall you say, a power metal, a bit more metal-y kind of sound. Now the albums, especially this one, are kind of half and half. So this is just a great melodic rock song, really tough. I actually watched a live video of theirs on YouTube, still going, and I was really surprised. You know, the singer, I don't know how old he is, but man, he's got so much energy. He's like a Dickinson. I mean, he's just all over the place and throwing shapes and still keeping the voice. And yeah, really good stuff. So that was at a festival, Rock Hard Festival, I think that's in Germany. Anyway, so Axis, AXXIS. If you've never heard of them, they've been around a long time and they're still doing it. So let's support them.
I've seen them, the name of the band in a few places, you know, maybe on festival, like you said, posters or something, but never heard them. Maybe I've heard them, but you know, it's like these days. You touch on.
Well, they'll probably have a newer record coming up soon. So when that comes out, I'm sure you'll check it out. Probably.
Definitely, yeah. Excellent, cheers, mate. Right, Jam, what you got, mate? Track one.
Okay, I'm going to start with a bit of controversy. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to have this or not, so I've got a backup.
Fucking hell, mate! It's track one, and it's like controversial. And it's Jam's rule. I was going to say, if it's his rules, he's obviously going to bend them a bit here and there, and he's like,
okay, it's a single.
Oh,
but it's not on any albums released this year, and it's never been on an album.
Nah.
I'll tell you what, though. Can I just say something? If that was Mark Clower, we would have probably let him off, wouldn't we? But it's Jam's fucking game, isn't it, Dom?
I mean, if it's on a soundtrack or if it's on a greatest hits or something, I can see. But you can't just say my track one is one song from, I don't know.
There's the only song they released that year.
I mean, if you know, Jam made the rules, so if he wants to do it, just let him do it.
I'll tell you what it was anyway, and then I'll pick a different one. So
now you get two number ones.
Yeah, two number ones.
We're allowed two number ones, though.
It's going to be Pumpkins United single because it was great, and obviously they got back together. But if I can't have that, I'll have title track from Danzig, Black Lady Crown is my number one. So there you go. Typical Danzig, slow start, brilliant, great album, Black Lady Crown, but not bad. Not bad. I think it's his last album to date, isn't it?
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's
there we go. That was my backup. Yeah.
So the Halloween first thing they did together was just a single only, and they didn't put it on any record?
It was released as a bonus track on 2021's first album, but it wasn't an official track listed. So they re-released it on that, but that was the only thing they released in 2017.
All right. Well, you got to.
Yeah,
I've got to mention it anyway, so that's me.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, even though we stopped him, he still said it, didn't he? So, yeah. You know what I mean? No, good one though, mate. Thanks for that. You got Danzig in there though. That's
Danzig. Yeah, I did.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much for that. Okay, well, this might not have made my list, my number one, a little while ago. The reason it has is I've seen this band live this year. That was Inglorious. Yeah, so well, I say that, I mean, I didn't take much notice of Inglorious apart from We Will Ride, the newer album. Mm-hmm. But since seeing them live, absolutely loving them, I thought, yeah, I've got to get them on the list. And they played this song as well. It's off the second album, which was entitled 2. So they're not trying anything clever here. They're not going to call the second album 7 or 8 or anything like that. Yeah. And it's called I Don't Need Your Loving. And it's really cool. I love Nathan James's voice in this one. Just remember hearing this live, it sounded just like it does on the record. Love a bit of Nathan James now. He's got a single out with that bird. Have you seen? Sorry, I mean.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
a guitar player or something?
Sophie Lloyd. Yeah, the video ain't bad, mate. You want to check that one out?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Because I saw that you reviewed something with a woman. I thought, what the hell?
Yeah, I
know. She wasn't singing, so it's all right.
That's what I figured. If Nathan James was on it,
yeah, it's a brilliant single actually. And but this one, I Don't Need Your Loving, didn't, like I said, didn't take much notice of its second album in general. I think when it came out, but excellent now. Love it. Love hearing Nathan James.
Yeah.
It's a really good song actually. So yeah, I Don't Need Your Loving, the first track of the album, number 2. Okay. Not number 2.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have anything from that album, but it was in my top 10 of that year. Yeah, it was the first one I heard. I hadn't heard the first one. I heard the first one was the second one. But yeah, it blew me away. Thought it was great.
Yeah, love it. Okay. We're up to track 2.
Track 2. Okay, love this band. They are called Voyager. They are what I would call melodic prog metal. So they've got some of the trappings of prog metal, time changes and things along those lines, but not any more than Queensryche or something. But they really concentrate on the songwriting, and the melodies are fantastic. Singer's got a really good voice. He's not like a histrionic singer. He's more kind of mid-tempo. But yeah, just great. They are Australian. And this is their 6th album. So wow. Yeah, it's called Ghost Mile, and the song I picked is Misery Is Only Company. Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, they're playing their ass off. As I said, the singer, he's similar in that kind of 10 Camelot-y kind of way, where he more is like a singer, not like a really more kind of mid-tempo, but just great tunes and really interesting, almost kind of like melodic to the point where if the backing was a bit different, it'd almost be AOR, but they make it so much more interesting with that. So the melody lines are still there, but you got just full on virtuosity behind it. Really good. So Voyager, and the name of the album is Ghost Mile.
Very cool. Cheers, mate. Good. Thanks. He never ceases to surprise you, does he, Jack?
I know. We'll come up with these things I've never heard of every week.
Yeah, very good. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. What you got there, Jam? Number 2.
Okay, this is another single. No, it's not really. It's an album.
B-side.
Yeah. This is a supergroup. This is Mike Portnoy on drums, and Billy Sheehan, Jeff Scott Soto singing, Bumblefoot as well. And the only one I don't know is Derek Sherinian. Not sure what he's from. But this is Sons of Apollo
as well.
Was he? Right. Yeah, this is Sons of Apollo, their debut album, Psychotic Symphony, and the song is called Coming Home. And it's a classic rocking song, as you know, for number 2 would be. Brilliant musicianship, obviously goes without saying. Great vocals, very catchy. This is another classic that's been plays on Planet Rock, which is probably where I picked it up. I haven't particularly listened to the rest of the album, which I'm sure is very good. But yeah, great song. Good opportunity to get it in here. So if you haven't heard it, obviously, any people fans of those sort of bands or any of the people involved, I'd check it out.
Progressive, isn't it? Really progressive.
Yeah.
I saw them actually. I've seen it. I called them at a festival. I called them at Moat Park, Maidstone.
Oh, nice.
They do a festival there. Well, they did for a few years, apart from COVID, obviously. But yeah, saw them. Love Jeff Scott Soto as well. A great voice. Yep. So yeah. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Okay, well, I'm not as inventive as you two, but I'm going with Accept, German metal band, obviously going a few years now. Off the Rise of Chaos album, the 15th album, obviously Udo had gone 3 albums ago. Mark Tornillo's the singer now. The song's called Hole in the Head.
And this is the third album with Mark.
Hmm?
Yeah.
This is the third album with Mark. Yeah.
I think so, because you had the Stalingrad was the second one. What's the first one? I can't remember the first one. What it was called. Yeah, Stalingrad, which is my favourite, I think, with Mark Tornillo. Right. And then this one, still really strong. A brilliant riff, like a typical sort of, almost sounds like the riff on this is off of a Metal Heart album. It's just absolutely brilliant. And that bass just thumps along on this song. I love it when they have them. You just tell straight away it's Accept. Do you know what I mean? But it's a brilliant riff. Love Hole in the Head, really catchy tune. Just excellent. Accept, really. A 15th album, what I said. So that's my number 2, guys. Accept and the Hole in the Head from Rise of Chaos. Excellent album cover as well. Sort of a lot of chaos going on in the city and buildings being destroyed and shit like that. Very good.
Yeah, kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of looking thing. Yeah.
Very cool indeed. So that's my track 2, guys. Moving on to track 3, Dom.
Okay, track 3. It kind of has a connection to the last one. You had the Defiance on your list. This is the other side of the coin. This is Ted Poley, the original singer from Danger Danger, and his band Tokyo Motor Fist. And so this is Ted Poley and the guitar player from Trickster, if you remember Trickster. Song I picked is Shameless, and it's a self-titled album. The song, boy, I mean, it's just, it could have been on one of the Danger Danger albums, one of the early ones, just as the title says, just shameless AOR, melodic, lots of keyboards, just singing about, driving down the highway and the girls and, whatever. But they're shameless about their love of rock and roll and party and whatever, like all the best songs from that era are.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they've really taken this and wrote a new sort of classic. I mean, if things were the way now than they were in the charts, late 80s, early 90s, this would have been a real big, at least video stuff. Really good song. So yeah, Tokyo Motor Fist. Remnants of Danger Danger, and that's their first album.
Very cool. Thanks, Mike. Cheers for that. They had a second album out, I believe, that obviously you might mention later on in a later year, but yeah, cool. Thanks, mate. What you got then, Dan?
Okay, I've got another one from, I don't really know any songs other than they do this. This is another one that I've been heard a lot on the radio. It's I presume they're a symphonic metal band called In This Moment, female singer, so you'll love that. Song is Black Wedding, but it does feature Rob Halford, so you got a bit there, and it's obviously a play on White Wedding, so it's got Billy Idol's got writing credit on it, but it's not the same song at all. But you've probably heard it. But no, it's a great sing-along song, just a bit different. Yeah, really good. The album's called Ritual, by the way. Yeah, and you can hear Rob on there, and it's just one of them party tracks that it's good. I don't particularly like symphonic metal, particularly. It's not really my thing, but it's quite good. I like the old song.
Did you say it's called Flat Wedding?
Black Wedding.
Black.
Oh, Black. Yeah. They said Flat Wedding. I was like,
well, it might be a flat wedding if you played that. I don't think you'll get answer.
Did you say it's symphonic metal with a female singer?
Yeah, that's quite standard, isn't it?
Oh, I'll have to check that out then, mate. Thanks for that.
The Nightwish.
Listen, a lot of people, I mean, that stuff is really popular.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Nightwish. Jesus Christ, they play arenas for God's
sake. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. There's a guy at my work, and like he likes rock and metal a little bit, but not hardly at all, but loves, I can't remember, it might be Nightwish, loves them. And it's weird that sort of just attracts people. It's probably the almost classical feel in it that attracts people, I suppose, like a bit like Evanescence did all them years ago, innit? That just attracts certain people to listen to it.
To me, it sounds like, Andrew Lloyd Webber with the guitars turned up. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the Phantom of the Opera, but it's like
Yeah,
For
Not
me,
really
that's,
for me.
that's what it sounds like.
no, that's cool. Thanks, mate. Cheers, Jam.
Okay.
Right, okay, track 3. Yawny, Yawny's in.
There he is.
Yeah, so
There he is.
the album was Life on Death Road. I actually really like this album, actually. It's a really good album. I think it
This was my first Yorn album.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard him before this album.
Wow. Well, this was the 9th album. I thought it was more than that. It's a 9th studio album. It was a single. It's called Love is the Remedy. By this stage as well, Yawny was doing that face like he's having a shit in the videos. Yeah. He always looks like he's having a poo at this stage in his career, but he's brilliant. I think, I think the album before this was, I can't remember the name of the album, you might know, Dom, the aeroplane on it. Had an aeroplane on the front cover.
Oh, right. Oh, geez, I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, I can't think of the actual album, but that album was a bit of a disappointment to me. It started, I was like, yeah, but this Life on Death Road almost felt like he went back a bit into the beginnings of the Yawn solo stuff, and I really like this album. But Love is a Remedy. It's really catchy. What do you call it? It's a little bit, I wouldn't call it symphonic or at all, but he's sort of got that elements of it in there, isn't he? Where he's very dramatic and it's very big sounding, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I suppose
and it's very Swedish as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
It really is. They got their own. I can't really think of an American band that would sound like that.
Definitely the European feel is really coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a good starting point for me because I went and got all of his albums after that. So, yeah, I really like that one too.
Now, Yawny, Life on Death Road. And by the way, just in case anyone wants to correct me, I know it's Yawn, not Yawny, but we just like
watch our other videos.
We like to
watch all the others.
We like to put Yorn and Londe together, so it's Yorne.
Yes, exactly. But we love Yorne. We do
love them. We're not making fun of them at all. We love them.
No, we love him. Even when he's taking his shit, we love him.
Especially.
Right, cool. That's my track 3. What you got then, Dom, for track 4?
Okay, track 4. I've got the second solo album from Mark Slaughter, Voice from the Past. It is called Halfway There. That's the name of the album, and I picked the title track. Now, there's really no getting away. This is a power ballad. Usually I don't, those aren't usually the things that I pick, but this is very reminiscent of Fly to the Angels, which is Slaughter's, real big. It starts off with that kind of melancholy verse and then just kicks in with a great, powerful, life-affirming chorus. It's really good. It's one of the better power ballads that I've heard in, the last 10, 20 years or something like that. Yeah, it's really fantastic. As you know, it's not really my go-to thing, but so if I hear one that I really like, I'm pretty enthusiastic about it. So yeah, Mark Slaughter is still giving it. I wish he made more records because this is now 5 years old. I haven't heard anything else, but good album. Halfway There, great little ballad.
Can I ask one thing, because I haven't heard stuff from Mark Slaughter for a long time, I don't think. So obviously he had that vocal, didn't he, that was really high pitched. Is that gone now? Is that like?
It's not. Well, I don't know if it's gone. He doesn't really go for those. I mean, he definitely goes for a higher register, but not those really,
ridiculously high.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him live for a long time, so I don't know what he's like live, but on record he sounds great. But he's not overstretching it either, so which is a smart thing to do.
Oh yeah, totally agree. Yeah. Okay, Jan, what you got there, mate?
Okay, I've got another super group, I guess, and a bit of rap metal. This is Prophets of Rage, which of course is half of Radiance Machine plus Chuck D and Be Real from Cypress Hill. Great album. It's not properly got, I mean, despite the name, I don't think it's quite as angry as Rage Against the Machine are. It's a bit more laid back, but it's still a similar vein, albeit more modern. They released an EP last year, I think, or 2016. Can't remember if I got a song off it on there or not, but this was the first album and last, because of course Rage Against the Machine are back again now, so don't think I'll ever see any of these again. I think they did play Download. I think I did see him, so at least I did get to see him once. Song is called, the title album is a title. The album is called Prophets of Rage as well. This is Living on the 110 is the track I've picked. There's quite a few on there. This is a bit of a slow, chuggy song, and as I say, they don't really have the energy and angst, I guess you call it, of Rage Against the Machine, but it's laid back and it's good, and it's obviously not on your full-on rap metal either. It's quite, although obviously you've got Chuck D on there, it's not quite the same as Public Enemy, let's just say that. But if you like that sort of thing, worth checking out, definitely.
Yeah, I saw them as well. Just getting in there, Download.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really riling the crowd up because they're obviously political because of Rage Against the Machine. Talking about Corbyn's going to win until we had the worst victory in the history of politics.
Yeah. As if they know anything about that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. No, they put on a pretty good show, actually. Quite enjoyed the Rage stuff as well.
I was going to say that I was going to ask, I couldn't remember if they did or not, but I thought they probably would have done, because they had quite a big set. Did they headline second stage or something? They had a quite big slot.
I think they was on the first stage, but like quite early on, maybe like fourth from the end of the bill or something like that.
Right, okay. So they probably had an hour then, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Pretty good. Cool. Enjoyed it because of the Rage songs mainly that I remember. That's quite cool. Cheers, mate. Okay, we're on track 4, aren't we? Yeah, that's right.
4 for you, yeah.
4, yeah.
Sorry, getting confused. So I haven't featured this band before, and the only reason I'm really doing this band, I think I did a reaction to these guys. Someone asked me for a song from their second album. So when I was looking at the list of songs to get, I saw this band and I thought, oh, because I hadn't heard the album, I'll give it a little spin. And, you know when you're trying to find those gaps where you're not really sure where you're going to put a track. So I listened to a couple of tracks to fill a gap and really pleasantly surprised. It was a great song that I reacted to. This is, like I said, off the debut album, Swedish, of course. The band's called Age of Reflection. The album's called In the Heat of the Night. It's very, really well produced by Eric Martinson. So,
really?
Yeah, it does a load of production, obviously, across a lot of these bands, but almost like it's quite epic as well, because it's like just over 6 minutes long. It's like a bit of a epic AOR sort of galloping track. So, it's very cool.
Right up your street.
Oh yeah. So really good, like a galloping bass line over it, really catchy, and got that great production that Eric Martinson always puts on it. So recommend this band, Age of Reflection. I think it's 2 albums they've had out now. And I think they're working on another one. So there you go. Age of Reflection, In the Heat of the Night, which is the title track from their debut album. Okay. Now
there you have one that I've never heard. I'm definitely going to check them out.
See, I can be original sometimes. Okay. Dom, it's track 5, mate.
Okay, track 5. I have a band, another German band. These are called Victorious.
Yeah.
This is their 4th album. I guess they're in the power metal category, but as you know, the only power metal I like is the stuff that isn't
power metal.
This sounds like good old heavy metal to me, So yeah, 4th album called Heart of the Phoenix, and the song is called Sons of Orion, which is a very power metal kind of song. They do definitely have that kind of Hammerfall thing going on. But when it's good, it's good. I don't like all power metal. I'm not I don't follow all the bands, but if I hear something I like it. And Victorious is one of the ones. Yeah. So not much to say about it. Just a really good heavy metal, the way they kind of used to do it. Rock truck.
I suppose
Victorious.
I suppose it needs to be a bit more. I'm saying be careful about what you name a genre, in case, mind you, I suppose there's so many people into power metal that if you name it power metal and it's not, you might get to listen to it because people love power metal. But you've got to be a bit careful. Genres are just you know, like we've spoken about it before and took the piss a little bit, but you know, you know what, power metal, when I see it, puts me off of listening to it because I think it's going to be like they said, that 100 mile an hour,
like Blind Guardian or something. But yeah, I mean, if you look these bands up on Wikipedia and stuff, that'll say power metal, you know, but
yeah,
who knows what that means. I mean, you know, Judas Priest could have been power metal back in the day. You know
yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
So who knows? But that's all rock and roll to me.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks for that. Jam, what you got, mate? Track 5.
Track 5, we've got a band who Lee likes, or might have something off this album. It's their last album, and they don't seem to have much more plans. That's probably because their lead singer is Corey Taylor from Slipknot. So it's Stone Sour from Hydrograd, their last album. Song is called Song Number 3. And I think it might have been their first single. They have done some heavier stuff, Stone Sour, and I think we had before that could have fitted on a Slipknot song, but this really isn't particularly. It's really catchy. It's really good. It's as you'd expect for a lead single, but it's not particularly very heavy Taylor song. But I like it. It's what you'd expect from Stone Sour. It's just a short 3 or 4 minute heavy rock song. That's it.
Thanks, mate. So yeah, they're trying to be clever then. Song number 3 is actually track 5.
Yeah, hopefully, unless I've messed up again.
Well, I know you haven't, because I got it as well.
Hey!
look at Dom, like, oh, yeah, I like a bit of Stone. I like a bit of Stone Sour. He's very fucking catchy, this song. You're totally right. It's, you know, not, you wouldn't think, you know, he's got a very distinctive voice. You wouldn't actually know, you know, it's nothing like you said, Slipknot. It's fucking proper catchy. Brilliant video as well, where he's got like wig on and that, and he like an 80s band taking the piss a little bit, but I love it. It's a really good video. So Stone Sour off of the album Hydrograd.
Hydrograd.
Come again?
Hydrograd. Yeah. If you want to know what it means, no one actually knows. He saw it in an airport apparently on some sign, and then he thought that'd be the name of the album then.
Something to do with water, I expect.
So, any comments down below? Tell us what Hydrograd means, please. That'd be great. All right. Right. Okay. We're moving on to track 6. Here we go.
Google Translate. We need Google Translate. Okay. So I have another band that I've grown to. Well, not grown. I loved them from the very first time I heard them. This is called Horisont. Horisont. They are Scandinavian. Now, apparently, this is their 5th album. Now, apparently, there's a Scandinavian retro rock revival. That's what, according to Wiki, which includes Witchcraft and Graveyard. Now, Witchcraft, me and Mark Clower had talked ad nauseum about how great they are. So apparently, this is like kind of a scene, I guess. And Horisont is one of them. They are retro. I mean, if I put this on, you would not guess that it was 2017. You would guess it was probably 1978. Like, it's so pure, the production and everything. The name of the album is About Time, and the name of the song is Point of Return. Now, I was listening to this again tonight, trying to come up with what they sound like. I want to say they sound like early Styx, when Styx like rocked, like before Babe and all that shit. Because they've got kind of that old school keyboard. They got kind of a pomp rock, you know, kind of really catchy, great singer. Love this band, Horisont. So if you like that stuff and you want to hear a band that is recreating it to just like the nth level production, everything, these guys really put a smile on my face. So yeah, Horisont.
Very cool. I mean, there's a lot of bands now doing that sort of thing, like the production, doing it on purpose, like going almost echoey fucking vocals.
Yeah.
You know, the mic sounds really echoey, like it's 1982 or something. You know, it's mad what bands are doing now. You know, but
yeah,
no, very cool. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Horse on. There you
horror
go.
song,
Horror song. Horror song.
sont.
Another horror song. Another fucking surprise, Jam. Isn't it? Vamp likes that one. Twat.
Yeah. Thank you.
What you got then, Jam?
Okay, this couldn't be more different to Dom's. And talking about genres, there's any denying what these are. This is a pirate metal band, Hailstorm.
We just spoke about this off. We spoke about this off camera, didn't we, Dom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't that Lizzie Hale band called Hailstorm?
It is, yes. These are Hailstorm. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been
For
going.
the first time I've put those two things together. I never thought that.
It couldn't be more different, but of course these are talking about mead and ale and rum and all that sort of stuff, so makes more sense. But I guess they've both been going probably similar amount of time, and I'm sure they've never. Well, I'm sure the Hailstorm have never heard of Hailstorm. Let's put it that way.
Anyway, I don't know. They might have played a festival or two together.
That's true. That is true. In fact, yeah, I bet they have. Yeah, I've no doubt. This is their fifth album called No Grave But the Sea. And the song is Fox with an Anchor.
Fox?
That's it. Fox with an Anchor.
F-O-X. Fox with an anchor.
Fox.
Oh, Fox with an anchor.
Yeah. Oh, Fox. F-U-C-K-S.
Fox.
Oh,
Fox.
I thought he was saying Fox with an anchor.
No, Fox. F-U-C-K-E-D.
Oh, fuck with an anchor.
That sounds fucking painful, doesn't it? Depends how big
it does sound painful, yeah.
It depends how big the anchor is, I suppose. Depends how big the anchor is, right?
Yeah. If you want to see what this is about, look it up live on YouTube, and you'll see everybody in the crowd singing along with it. It's one of their big anthems from this album, because it's like a sort of a sea shanty, I guess, if you know what I mean. The lyrics are just obscene. It's just really funny and always a good highlight of the show. So yeah, worth checking out live. It's a great. It's quite a good album. They do some semi-serious songs. I mean, there's a song called Mexico is really good. Peg Leg Potion is good. And they're just
Peg Leg Potion.
Peg Leg Potion, yeah.
Fucked by an anchor. Who knew?
They I don't want to get into detail about it. They got in a bit of trouble a little while ago, didn't they, as well?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, we maybe talk about that off camera. But yeah, they got in a little bit of trouble there, you know. Yeah. But that fucked by an anchor. Almost like what's that saying? You know, drop anchor in Pooh Bay.
Yeah.
You heard that one, Dom? No, that's all right. We'll talk about that off screen as well.
Oh man.
Anyway. Okay.
Anyway, all right.
Right, where were we? Track 6, isn't it? It's track 6 and it's me. That's right, isn't it?
The show would be boring without Jam, I tell you.
It fucking would. It fucking would. Okay, so I'm going to Sweden, obviously. A great band. One of the best bands in Sweden, and it's Heat. They brought out this album that, I don't know, it split fans a little bit.
Yeah.
The album's called Into the Great Unknown, and they went a bit weird on this, didn't they, Dom?
Well, they were stretching out a bit. You know, I don't mind when bands do that, because you know they're kind of in a genre where everything can't sound the same. So if a band wants to stretch out for an album or two, you know, more power.
Yeah. I mean, they did it on this album. Some of the songs are actually really great. The good songs are fucking excellent. You know, it went very sort of poppy. Some of them, you know, they could be almost. You could almost hear them on the shitty radio. You know, I mean, it's no guitars sometimes on hardly at all. You know,
or on Eurovision.
Yeah, maybe you're probably right there.
Yeah. So, kind of thing,
yeah. So they stretched out a bit, like you said. There were some rocky songs on here as well, but this is my favourite song off the album. It is a ballad, but it's very fucking powerful. It's called Eye of the Storm. And that, in fact, although this album went in that different direction, this is probably one of my favourite songs of them. Very brilliant vocals by Eric Gromwell. He's obviously with Skid Row now. This was the 5th album. So I suppose, you know, they had 2 albums with the original singer. They had a couple with Eric Gromwell where he showed it, you know, what he was like, and then they went a bit different. But then they automatically sort of went back to what they was, I suppose, the fans. They listened to
That's
the fans.
usually what happens, yeah.
You know, whether they was going to go for this altogether, you know, this different sound altogether, and then they thought, well, you know what, we're upset a few too many people. You have got to listen to the fans a little bit, ain't you know?
Yeah,
but no, this is a brilliant song. Eye of the Storm, very fucking dramatic, very cool, and you know, a great vocal, absolutely excellent. The Heat, Eye of the Storm. That's my track 6, guys. Dom, what you got, mate?
Okay, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Great White is one of those bands that have 2 Great Whites going on at the same time. So I have had a song or 2 from the official Great White, which had the XYZ singer, Terry Ilui or however. Yeah. So they're doing fine. They're doing good music. But I also this year I have Jack Russell's Great White, which that's the actual name of the band, Jack Russell's Great White. And I also like this album too. So I would say Jack Russell's not doing quite it doesn't, some of it does not sound like Great White. It's still hard rocking, but it doesn't have that kind of bluesy kind of thing they're kind of known for. But this is really good. This is the title track from his album, He Saw It Coming. It owes a bit to, oh gosh, I don't know, a bit to AOR maybe. The whole track is about a kid who dreamt of being a rock star. So he saw it coming, and then he actually realizes his dream, and it's got this great opening where these 2 kids are talking about rock, and they open up a curtain and they walk through the door or something, and they're on like a stage. And anyway, it's good though. It doesn't sound directly like the Great White that people know and love, but you know, all the better for it. It's still a great melodic rock song, especially this one. So yeah, Jack Russell's Great White. He Saw It Coming.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Classic band. Cheers. Jam, what you got, mate?
Okay, I'm all over the place with my genres today. I'm classic hard rock now, and one for Dom, a bit of Thunder. Haven't been on the list for a while. From the Rip It Up album. Yep. And this is one of my favourite Thunder songs, actually. It's called In Another Life. Really good. Sort of mid-pace sort of thing. So it's not really a ballad. Well, it's not a ballad. It's a sort of it's not a really heavy rocker, but it's just a great catchy song. I mean,
I know what you mean.
You know, Thunder are always good, and very rarely do a bad song. So yeah, that's a great song. Probably it's definitely my favourite off the album, but one of the best Thunder songs that there's been. I think it's worth checking out. And also, I want to say, obviously, wish Danny Bowes all the best, because he's been out a long time now, and that's not good, is it?
How's he been? I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
He's got a head injury. Yeah, he did something. He's been out for. Well, he's not. Yeah, he's out of action totally at the moment. I don't know if he's still in hospital or not. But yeah.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, all the best. Yeah, for definitely. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, all the best to Danny Bowes then. Yeah, great singer, man. Fucking one of the singers that's kept his voice just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I was just I made myself laugh then. I don't know why, but with you said about genres. I know we take the piss out of genres, but I saw one the other day. When I look at the new albums coming out, there's a genre now called crust metal. What do you reckon that? What do you reckon that is then?
Well,
heavy.
Crust punk has been around for a long time, since the 80s. Crass is probably the most known crust punk band. So it must be punk influenced metal, I guess. Haven't you ever heard the term crusties?
Only in your pants.
Yeah.
Only
like
in
a
my
guy with like
pants.
dreadlocks or something. Those
Yeah,
like they'd be bums, but they're not. You know, normally would be like a squatter, that kind of thing. You know.
The only time I've thought of Krusty is when she picks her boy's underwear up from his bedroom floor. That's what I
Oh God, I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Anyway, no, crust metal. Then we have a explanation. Thank you very much, Dom. Cheers for that, mate. Okay, so it's me here, track 7.
Yep.
I've had quite a bit of Swedish music, and I already.
Well,
I'm going to add to that. So this is a great band. I think Dom saw them this year at a festival. I believe you saw this band, Crazy Licks. Did you see Crazy Licks?
I did, yeah.
I think this is a brilliant album, one of the best albums. This is Rough Justice, the album, an excellent album. The song's called Snakes in Paradise. It's their 5th album. Just catchy, melodic, hard rock. This has an almost melancholy feel to it as well. It's sort of sad sounding the way that
I love that.
Not a ballad or anything, but yeah, it's very, I don't know, it just pulls you in. Very cool song indeed. So yeah, it's a great album as well. One of their best, I think. Crazy Licks Rough Justice album, and the song's called Snakes in Paradise. Could be pulled straight out of a fucking 80s soundtrack or something.
Yeah, I mean, another song that if it was released in a different time, it'd be in the charts. You know what I mean? It'd be.
They seem to be doing something at the moment. I haven't looked intently, but they've been releasing some of their older songs with an edited like video, like an old film, like an 80s film, and they would put one of their songs over it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, they've been doing that lately. I've seen them doing it on Facebook and stuff. So yeah, very cool. In other words, they take like Flashdance or something and then put one of their songs over it, and it just fits
right.
Fucking perfect.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Well, so, and then anything to get you noticed these days, because good Lord,
I agree.
Nobody's selling records, and nobody, you can't see a video to save your life unless it's YouTube, obviously, and certainly not going to hear them on the radio.
No, that's true. That's true. So that's my track 7, guys. The excellent Crazy Licks. There you go.
All right.
Track
okay.
8.
So my number 8 is from Sweden. It's Heat as well. Now, everything you had to say about that song, I say about this song. This is my favorite Heat song of all time. This is We Rule. It has elements of a ballad, but there's some mid-tempo stuff in there as well. The tempo changes a bit. It's kind of an epic. I think it's nearly 6 minutes long. I would say best thing I could compare it to is it really kind of takes some cues from Queen's "Who Wants to Live Forever." Like it's got that kind of
epic,
you know, just fantastic. This song has given me absolute chills when it comes on. It really does. Again, Eric's voice on this is just incredible. Just so good. It's really wild that you picked track 6 and I'm talking about track 7, but we're almost describing the same song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But actually, that's their most, if you want the most varied album that they've done, that's it. This is it, isn't it?
I'm not going to say this is my favorite album of theirs, but this is definitely probably my favorite song of theirs. Wow. This just stops seeing my tracks whenever it comes on my shuffle or whatever. Just amazing. So there you go. Heat. Talk a lot about them on here. Into the Great Unknowns, the album We Rule is the name of the song.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. What you got then, Jamie? Your track 8.
Track 8. Okay, we've got some thrash metal now. Bit of a Canadian, the singer's Canadian, and that's Annihilator. And
yes,
great Jeff Waters. The album's called For the Demented. Have they done an album since this? I think they have. Can't remember what it's called, but yeah. So it's probably their penultimate. Oh yeah, Ballistic Sadistic they've done after this. So yeah, okay, that's good. They're still going. The song is called The Way. Although this song isn't very thrashy, this is actually very punky for them. They have done a few different songs down the years. They did a very AC/DC-ish song on a few albums back, and this is very more heavy, but not horrible punk. It's not hardcore. It's
Crusty. It's crusty.
listenable.
Is it crusty?
Yeah, yeah. But it's not Green
It's
Day
not that
either.
horrible punk that we don't like.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of hardcore, but it's not like it's not Green Day either. It's just sort of somewhere in what you call punk. If you thought I'll write a punk song, this is what it sounds like. Sex Pistols type riff, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
there we go. It's called The Way by Annihilator, and as I say, all their last few albums have all been worth checking out. They really do some good stuff these days. There you go.
Thanks very much, mate. Love a bit of thrash. All right, okay, so I'm going to go to my number 8 is Sweet and Lynch, which was Michael Sweet and George Lynch. Did their second album together. Third one is written and being recorded, I believe. So this album was called Unified. This song called is Make Your Mark. That's what the song's called. Like I said, it's the second album. It's almost like you can imagine it, Vamp liked it as well, obviously, but it's almost, you can imagine if you said George Lynch and Michael Sweet going to make an album, this is what it sounds like. Do you know what I mean? So very,
it's like it's kind of like Michael Sweet fronting Dawkins.
Yeah, exactly, or Lynch Mob, or you know what I mean? It's just that it's sort of very rock and roll, but soaring chorus, like the soaring chorus of Striper, if you like, and the rock and roll sort of feel of Lynch Mob. You know what I mean? I didn't like this album as much as their debut album, but it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to hear probably next year the third album. But Make Your Mark, it's really cool. That's my track 8. There you go, guys. All right.
Cool.
All right.
Vamp
number 9. A hell of a time up there.
Vamp's just a fucking annoying twat of a cat. Just really annoying. If anyone wants him, guys, in the comments below, please, and you can come and pick him up. But I'm not going to drive miles. You can come and get him. All right.
Right. Okay, so this is really weird because me and you have some sort of weird symmetry this year, Lee. Because my number 9 is KXM, which is George Lynch and Doug Pinnock from King's X.
Yeah.
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 And the drummer from Korn. So apparently KXM is K for Korn, X for King's X, and M for Lynch Mob. I guess it just sounds right. KXM. I guess that's what just sounds better. So this is their second album.
Can we just talk about just a second? I know we've been going a while, but Lynch Mob are back. Did you know?
Yeah, changed the name back again, haven't they? Yeah.
Anyway, before I get that out.
Yeah,
there.
I'm not gonna touch that. Okay, so this is also this is also their second album. And this is called Scatterbrain, and the song I picked is It's Never Enough. The song is a bit of a different feel, I think probably because Doug Pinnock is on it. This is a bit funky, bit of a funk metal thing, not too dissimilar to what Extreme used to do so well. Get the funk out, kind of funky in the verses, and then just straight up rock in the chorus. But Doug's voice is so soulful and so strong. It really sounds great. So yeah, George Lynch, second project in 2017. KXM.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much for that. Jam, what you got, mate?
Okay, I think I'm going to Sweden now. Apologies if they're not Swedish. I should have looked up, but they're Scandinavian anyway. But it's a band called Bokassa, and this is their debut album, Divide and Conquer, and they're described as hardcore punk stroke stoner metal.
So hold on.
I don't quite know how that works.
I guess punks do smoke reefer every now and then.
Yeah, but no, if you listen to it, you'll see where they're coming from. A lot of the songs are quite punky, but metal punk. They're definitely metal punk, but some of the songs are really slow and stonery, so they do have elements of both. And I tell you what, I think you guys will like them if you listen to it. There's all proper singing in that, and you like some songs, wouldn't like the other. And all 3 albums they've done, because I think they released one last year, are absolutely excellent.
Can you spell that name for me?
Yes. Bokassa.
Wow, never heard of them.
No, I don't know how. I think I might have might have caught them at a support gig or something, or read about them, and they were really good. And I've seen them about, they're only quite small, obviously. I've seen them about 2 or 3 times at the Underworld in Camden. But no, they're definitely worth checking out. I think they're 3-piece as well, where they make a hell of a lot of noise for a 3-piece, but they're not unpleasant to anybody who doesn't like it too heavy. They're really good. And this song, sorry, is called Immortal Space Pirates, the space anthem, and this is a slower, heavier, brooding song, and it's like 7 minutes long as well, so it's not hardcore punk here at all. Yeah, just a great song. Massive, slow, epic riff. And I say it's the punky side, metal side of punk anyway. But worth checking out. Anyone who hasn't heard him?
Yeah, I think I will.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you very much. Very cool. You're both surprising me tonight with all this stuff, but there you go. This one, Revolution Saints is my track 9.
Oh,
yeah. So the second album, Light in the Dark. The song's called Running on the Edge. This band consists of Dean Castronova from Journey, Generation Radio now as well. Doug Aldridge of Whitesnake, Jack Blades of Night Ranger. They've actually got a new album coming out where those other two, Doug Aldridge and Jack Blades, have gone, and Joel Holstra and Jeff Pilson have now stepped in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to Revolution Saints. And to tell you the truth, the new song, I know we're not talking about that now, but the new song is the best Revolution Saints song I've heard. It's fucking brilliant, you know.
Because you're kind of on the fence about this band, if I remember correctly.
I sort of am. I like them, but they don't, like, you know what I mean, stand out to me. There's a lot of bands that sound like this, but this song is great, actually. It's got, and they almost like a bit of a heavier Journey, I suppose, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose when you hear Dean Castronova's voice, it's so similar to Steve Perry. You almost feel that he's copying him, and people will probably go mad and say, you know, it's his voice, but it's almost like, you know, Todd the Toro got a bit of grief, and he's saying Jeff Tate and all that, you know. It's almost like, you know, you're in that danger, aren't you, that you sound like you're copying someone else, especially if you go and drum for Journey and then you sing behind the kit and you sound fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that's so wild when he started singing. It's like he's had this voice the whole time. He sounds more like than Arnell does. I think.
He does.
Wild.
It's a bit strange. So, but I mean, I really like their albums. You know, it's just, there's nothing wrong with them at all. Sometimes they don't, but that new song is fucking good, and it might be, you know, the addition of Joel Holstra and Jeff Pilson. I don't know, but there's something about that new song that's great. But this is good as well. Revolution Saints, Running on the Edge. There you go. Track 10. We're getting there, guys.
Good to know.
Track 10. Okay. Another Swedish band. Sorry. Another Swedish band. These guys are called Degreed. Degreed.
Oh, yeah. I like these guys. Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a self-titled album, but it's their 4th album. So make of that what you will. Nature of the Beast, it's called, or the song is called, that I picked. Degreed. I don't know. How should we describe them, Lee?
Right. So yes, I'm glad you are.
Rock.
I'm glad you asked me, because they've got elements of the other Swedish bands that are around, obviously, Heat and Eclipse, but they've got a modern edge to them as well. So they almost have got,
I would say,
modern choruses and, you know, catchy still, but modern elements as well.
I think that's a perfect description. They sound like a rock band in this era. You know what I mean? They're not trying to get a sound from the past. I mean, it definitely has bits and pieces here, melodic and all that. But yes, I agree. They do sound very contemporary. Certainly not alternative metal or anything like that. Not grunge or not anything like that. But just, you know, how modern rock bands sound these days. But yeah, good stuff. They don't really have much of a following. I mean, I see their name every once in a while and other things, but they haven't caught on like some of their other contemporaries have. But I think they're pretty good.
I think their new album seems to be like listening to reviews, and it seems like it's their best album. You know,
Yeah,
the new one this year, and it's very good. Actually, it's very good, and I don't know, it does sound fucking good. The new album's excellent. But
yeah. So I mean, I guess lockdown really probably stole a lot of thunder from these younger bands. They lost 2 or 3 years of touring and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, Degreed. There you go.
Excellent, mate. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Jam, track 10.
Okay, I've got another sort of, I guess you call them super group, and the band have just released their second album. This is very hardcore punk, and it's Dead Cross with Mike Patton and Dave Lombardo on the drums.
Yeah, I've seen these live.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. There's a lot of screeching in Mr. Bungle style. Mike Patton. If you listen to, if you want Faith and More, it doesn't sound like that. But the drums are fantastic, as you can imagine. And some of the songs are. I can't listen to much of it, I must admit. I do like the album, but some of the songs are sort of, not quite for me. But this one's good. There's another sweary one. It's called Church of the Motherfuckers. And it's one of the longer songs. Obviously, it's towards the end. There's a video for it. I think they must have released it as a single, I presume. It's quite slow. You probably like the start of it, but then in the middle, it just goes absolutely mental with the drumming and screeching and stuff like that. So it's not one for everybody, but it's worth checking out. Something a bit different.
I remember.
You know who else has seen? You know who else has seen this band? Is Lee's wife.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll probably mentioned it before. Then I obviously.
She was a big fan. She was a big fan of that.
When I was reading that little, the booklet you get a download, and I went, oh look, Dead Cross, but look, it's the singer out of Faith No More. Do you remember Faith No More? Oh yeah, Easy Like Sunday Morning. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. They covered that one. Yeah, let's go and see them. And her face just fucking dropped to the floor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was there as well. I saw him.
All that fucking, she's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, quite amusing. Quite amusing. Yeah. Fucking weird as fuck. But
yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, right. Cheers, Jan. Thanks for Dead Cross.
Dead Cross.
So I'm going to Ice Earth, their last album.
Their last album ever.
The last album ever, which was Incorruptible. It's a fucking excellent album. Well.
Yeah, that's ironic.
Fuck off.
Incorruptible. That's fantastic. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, this song is fucking brilliant. It's track 10, obviously. It's called Clear the Way, December the 13th, 1862. They like to look back at their history. I think, yeah, exactly. I think Mark chose this as when we were talking about epic 9+ minute tracks or something.
Oh, right.
This is a 9-minute something song. It's about the people the Irish that fought in the Civil War. American Irish, basically. Yeah, it's a fucking brilliant song. It's very epic. It's got chanting and fucking explosions in it, So, it's brilliant. It's very catchy as well. I mean, they became quite, I suppose, not as thrashy in the end. They became really catchy as well, but still heavy. But man, I love this band, and I'm so disappointed. I really am. There you go. Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Moving on.
I feel bad for you now.
After laughing at me. Yeah, thanks.
No, I'm laughing at the album title. It's probably one of their, it's probably, he was probably just out of just completely firing all cylinders, because if it came out in 2017, that means that Trump had been elected. So he was just probably just like, fucking hell. Just like all of his senses were just. Okay, so moving on. This couldn't be farther away from Iceworth if it tried. This is for the old school glamours. This is Pretty Boy Floyd. Now, they had a legendary, in some circles, legendary first album, Leather Boys with the Electric Toys. And then they just kind of just went, they made a second record. It got rejected by MCA because by that time, you know what had started coming up. So, and then half the band left, and they had released like compilations or like re-recorded things or like covers albums, blah, blah, blah. But we never actually got an official second album. But in 2017, 28 years later, we did. It's called Public Enemies. This song is called Painted On. And it's right back to what you wanted, you know, as a second album in, say, 1991. I mean, it's just, the songs are catchy. He still sounds exactly the same. Decent production, you know, for an independent, you know, glam metal release in 2017. That isn't Swedish, obviously. But yeah, so we finally got our second album. That I think 3/4 of the band had come back, so it was pretty much an official Pretty Boy Floyd album because the singer has gone on to just have a bunch of nobodies behind him. But yeah, Public Enemies by Pretty Boy Floyd. I tell you, it's a blast from the past. But we finally got a sophomore album. So there you go.
Thank you very much, mate, for your track 11. What you got then, Jen?
Okay, a band that doesn't need any introduction. That's Foo Fighters. I'll only say it's going to be interesting to see if they do carry on, but there's no words on that yet. This is Conquering Gold. They have done an album after this, and this is the title track. The only thing I would say about it is the album's not great. Run's a good song on here, but this song is very different from Foo Fighters. It sounds like Pink Floyd basically, and I don't know. I presume they did it on purpose. I know he's a fan of them, and yeah, it's very different for him, and it's the closing track on the album, and it's really good. It's Pink Floyd without trying to rip off Pink Floyd, if you like. But yeah, Dave's vocals are quite different on this, and if you don't like the Foo Fighters, like a bit of Pink Floyd, which you probably don't either, then you might want to listen to it. But yeah, it's a good track.
Who are you talking to, Lee or me or both?
Well, I don't know. I know Lee doesn't like either. I don't think so. I don't know if you like Pink Floyd, Dom. I don't think you do much, do you? So,
I like things that sound like Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
you like things that sound like Pink Floyd?
Yeah, perfect for you. It's perfect for you.
Oh yeah, I don't like any of those, but you know. No,
but you probably like Silent Lucidity, which sounds just like Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I suppose there's elements. A lot of people were influenced, obviously, by Pink Floyd, aren't
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I don't like them. I don't know. It's just
no, I don't either, really, because they're great.
Overrated, isn't it?
Oh boy, we are losing viewers by the
minute. Anyway, no, sorry, Pink Floyd fans. You know, I'm sure they are good.
Oh, okay.
Right,
track 11, Lee.
My track 11. I'm going to Sweden.
Have you ever come back?
I didn't realise, to tell you the truth, how much Swedish music was on there. But this is we're getting the Swedish band I haven't mentioned yet. Who is it?
Eclipse.
Yes, there you go. So this is probably my favourite album from Eclipse, although they did about 3 in a row that were just fucking outstanding. The album's called Momentum, and this is probably their best song as well. The heaviest song for sure they've ever done. It's the epic Black Rain. It's fucking excellent. It's a brilliant song. I mean, I know Dan won't, but if you're going to like a Eclipse song, I don't even know if you heard any Eclipse stuff, but if this,
I might have heard the odd one. Yeah.
This one would be the one that you would like for sure. Okay. It's fucking heavy. I remember seeing him do this live. It was my favourite song when they played it live as well. Absolutely superb. Yeah, 7th album, Eclipse, Momentum, and the song is Black Rain. It's fucking excellent. There you go. Track 12, guys, the last track on the list. Let's go.
Phew. Gosh.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I'm fucking starving and all.
Yeah, we had connection issues. That was my fault. A bit of editing.
No, stop it. Okay, so number 12. This is a band from Sweden.
Fucking hell.
This is a lesser known band of that genre, but man, they are so good. As we've said before, usually if we get to 11 or 12, you know, the whole album's great and we can pick pretty much any song off it because it's the 11 or 12. This is Confess, their album Haunters. This is their 4th album, believe it or not, and the song is called Let the Show Go On. Confess, I saw them at the same festival that Lee mentioned with Crazy Licks, and they were fantastic. They had another album after this that came out in March of 2020, March of 2020, so the month that COVID broke. So they released this album and couldn't tour, couldn't do anything with it, sat on their ass for 2 years. When I saw them at this festival we're talking about, it was the first time they'd played live in like 2.5 years. The first gig they'd played, and you could tell, man, they were itching to get on stage. Fantastic, brilliant sleaze, I would say, you know, very much kind of that Motley Crue-ish feel, but just brilliant songs, as I said. Track number 12, but I probably could have picked anything from 1 to 11. Just a fantastic album. And then the one after this is even better. So hopefully we'll get a new album probably next year. But I mean, now they're pretty much just touring the 2020 album because they never got to tour it really. But yeah, Confess, if you haven't heard them and you love that kind of sleazy vibe, they are fantastic.
Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for the list. Amazing stuff. Jam, what you got, mate?
Okay, a band I've talked about loads, so I won't go on too much. Another rap metal band, but nothing like Prophets of Rage, and this is Hollywood Undead. You know, my go-to band. They got loads of songs on their album, so it's quite easy to get 12 from these guys because not everybody does. But most of their songs are great. This had one of my favourite albums, probably. It's called 5, the album. It's their 5th album, believe it or not. And the song is called We Own the Night. It was one of the singles, but you know, any song could be a single of this. There's California Dreaming, the first track is excellent, and there's a great song there called Ghost Beach, which is sort of like a ballady one, if you like, with obviously it's not ballad in the sense of a Skid Row song or something, but no, they're great, Hollywood Undead, and if you like that sort of thing, you know, you'll enjoy this album.
Thank you very much, mate. Great list and some, you know, ones that we haven't heard of from both of you actually. So
diverse.
I'm going for one that I reckon you're going to actually listen to.
Ooh.
The first bit of Southern rock on my list, but the reason you might listen to it is because it's a cover version.
Oh,
there you go. The band's called the Steel Woods. I love this band. They are fantastic. They're newish in the way of, I think this is their first album. Yeah, it was their first album. And this is a Sabbath cover of Hole in the Sky from the Aussie period.
Okay.
So it's really fucking cool, actually. And it's got a, you know, really a Southern vibe, but it is like the same structure, but in a Southern version. It's just fucking excellent.
Yeah.
So, they do like a bit of metal, but they're a Southern rock band and they're not in any way metal whatsoever, but it's a brilliant cover. The Steel Woods from the album Straw in the Wind as well. It's from that album. So
Steel Woods?
Yeah, as in STEEL Woods. Yeah, the Steel Woods. Yeah, so have a little listen to that. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, love that band. That's my list. Have you got any honourable mentions, guys? You got any Domino? Yeah.
I do not.
Okay, what you got then, Jam?
No, I'm not going to. I didn't. We didn't talk at the start, but I didn't have a great year 2017. I struggled a little bit, but no, none for me.
I've just got a couple. Well, Dream Evil bought an album out. They're not a bad band, are they? They're pretty heavy and would you call them power metal? Probably, I don't know. Tony Mills had an album out. He was the singer of Shy. He died a couple of years ago, a few years ago. Brilliant singer. Lynch Mob had the Brotherhood out, so I was surprised.
Good album.
Really, I was surprised Dom didn't have one of those. I was expecting that, to tell you the truth. That's about it. That's all I've got. So I ain't got many. But no, an excellent year in rock and metal for me, and more better to come as well, I think. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're kind of into the glory years coming up again.
I
This
agree.
is like 1983 all over again.
Yeah,
You're
totally
just
agree.
spoiled for choice.
Yeah. You guys, thank you very much. Not sure if we're going to catch up. Obviously, we're going to do you're going to join me on this weekend for a best, like, I'm going to name about 5 or 6 albums each, 5 albums each.
All being well.
All being well. Yeah. Your internet's all right in the end, by the way, Jam. So that unplugging
it seems to be. Yeah. Well.
So yeah, this Saturday we'll be doing choosing about 5 albums each. A couple of other idiots will be joining us as well. So looking forward to that. And happy Christmas in case anyone watches this.
Yeah.
They don't watch the other show. So.
All right. Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we're getting there now, aren't we? So, all right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. It's been brilliant and fucking fun as usual. See you later.
Bye. Put your list down.
Yeah, the list's in the bottom. Comments.
We love them. We love them.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Yeah.